Yo, what is going on, guys? Before we get into the video, I am running a giveaway. All you need to do to enter is like and comment down below. Thank you for entering. Now, we are doing basically, these are going to be the best tactics that I have found by a country mile. This formation also is by far the most meta formation. It isn't the one on screen, so don't think it's that. I will quickly get into it with you in a minute. But before we do, if you can, please drop a like, drop a sub. Let me know what you want to see from me in the future. I'm super excited to show you guys this because, like I said, for me, this has been by far the best formation. Me and a fellow YouTuber, Jamboo, were using it on co-op. I've used it on solos, and it by far has felt the best formation so far. So yeah, I am super excited to show you guys this one. I think this will help you guys a lot for the upcoming weekend league. So let's get into it. So it is going to be the 4-2-3-1. Now, obviously, a lot of people might be going, "Oh, well, that's always good." Well, I'm telling you, this is like FIFA 19, FIFA 20 good. This is like the meta this year, I believe. I've used it. I love it. I think it's by far the best so far. It just works really well. It's really fluid. Yeah, and I'm just super excited to show you guys. So, like I said, the 4-2-3-1, we are unbalanced on our defensive style. Again, nothing too crazy there. For me, it depends how confident you are with defending or not. Should depend basically if you use pressing tactics. In terms of if you're struggling to win the ball back, maybe using press stuff is for you. For me, I don't struggle with that too much, so I'm not using it. But it is viable, so if you do want to, go ahead and use it. But for me, balanced is by far the best way. My width is on 45. I've explained on past videos. This is kind of where I'm comfortable right now. Just a little bit narrower. Basically, just stop the through balls, but not too narrow that we're just getting absolutely like torn apart on the wings. So yeah, 45 width for me. Depth is on 72. Now, obviously, people will be looking at this and going, well, that's a weird number. Now, 72 depth is for the auto offside traps. The more and more you play this game, you realise the more and more offside traps can be very, very good. With the slower gameplay and what, in my opinion, seems to be not a delay, I don't know, like an extended release on passing. If you time your offside traps well, it can be absolutely crucial. So also that does mean then that the auto offside traps are also a big plus. Obviously, listen, you can get caught out and you do have to accept, it's a give and take situation. There are going to be times where you get caught out and the opponent scores off of an offside trap. But, as an overall, it is absolutely a W. If you didn't want to use the offside traps, if you didn't feel comfortable, I would literally just use 50 depth then. Because the only reason I'm using a higher depth is for the offside traps. So I would suggest 50 depth if you don't feel comfortable necessarily using offside traps or, just trying to play a high line and catching people out. Now, build-up play is unbalanced. Again, you can go fast or slow. For me, I don't enjoy it. Obviously, slow build-up is a bit more of a possession-based style. Fast build-up is a bit more of a, just like, get up the pitch as quick as possible. And long ball's a bit more of a sit-deep counter-attacking style. Now, I like to think I'm probably a bit of all of it. I like to keep the ball at times, I like to get up the pitch fast at times, and I like to counter at times. But obviously perfectly makes sense that I use balance, which is a kind of a combination of all three. Chance creation is direct passing. Again, it is just so good in terms of getting in behind. It just really does help. For me, obviously, I'm using this a lot now. Direct passing just seems to be the absolute way. It has for years. If you don't know what direct passing does, basically it basically makes your players make better in behind and attacking runs, and basically the higher attacking positioning your player has, the better runs they make. That's why you may find that players like a Haaland or even a Ronaldo to an extent, players that have really high attacking positioning and smarter players, even maybe Benzema's and Harry Kane's and things like that, even though they're not the quickest, they'll make the better runs. Whereas you might have people like Timo Werner's, Mbappe's. Mbappe's probably the best player for it because he's got the pace, but he's got the attacking positioning as well. If you've got people like Werner and Fatties and stuff like that, they're quicker and they can get them behind better, but they don't necessarily make the smartest runs. So it definitely is a give and go, but I would say it's very much down to player selection. But for me, direct passing is definitely the way forward. Width is on 45. Again, as much as they are only cams, I still want them as narrow, like a bit narrower, just to be a bit closer to our players, especially now we've only got one striker in this formation. Obviously, the cam does work as another basically high attacking player, so he does get involved a lot as well. But for me, just having a little bit less width in the attacking areas as well just makes it a lot more of a cohesive formation, makes the passing a lot better, so that's why. Players in the box is on 6, because again, I like to have an attacking centre midfielder. Does depend on who you are. If you like to have 2 DMs, in this formation, maybe you don't want one going forward, I would knock this down to 5. But for me, I like to have one that makes a bit more of an attacking run, so I have 6. Corners and free kicks is just personal preference. For me, corners on 2 has always been my nice spot between having players in the box whilst also defending yourself from counter attacks. So really is up to you. Right, so striker is just on getting behind. Now a lot of people might have him on stay central, and to be honest, stay central you could definitely do. For me, I just found that with only having one striker, sometimes you want your striker to make a down the line run, you know, hold up the ball, build up play, things like that. And I just found if I had him on stay central, I just struggled at times with building up sometimes. So for me, having him on balanced just made the most sense in terms of getting him behind and making good runs. So just getting behind for me on that one. Now on my cam, I do have stay forward, get into the box for cross. Now it has been a notorious thing with FIFA for past years. If you do not have your central cam on stay forward, they basically drop into an almost DM role and swap around with the midfielders and things like that. It has just been kind of a known glitch and bug within the game. So I always just put my cam on stay forward, but that is also because I do want him involved in the attack as much as possible. He's basically going to be playing as almost that second striker role and really getting involved in the build-up and the attack, and he'll also score a lot of goals. Neymar is by far the best player I've used for it as well. Neymar's incredible in this game. If you haven't bought him, make sure you buy him. So yeah, just stay forward, get into the box for cross as well, for obviously cutbacks, back post crosses, any kind of crosses really. And just getting into those attacking areas, getting to the box for cross is a must-have in my opinion. Now, both of our wide cams, I do have both of them on getting to the box for cross. Again, that is because I want them to make the good attacking runs in the box, basically. I find that if I don't have it on, they just kind of stay out wide too much and don't get involved enough in the attack. I do want them to be in the box. I want them to be available for cutbacks, back post crosses. Just give myself as many available options as possible. And this is what I was talking about earlier with that attacking width. Trying to make sure it is just that little bit narrower, just so they are involved as much as possible. So that is why I've got both of them just on getting to the box for cross. Now, I do have one of my DMs on stay back while attacking and cover centre. The stay back is because I want this guy basically to be at my more defensive CDM. And obviously cover centre is because we do have options in these wide areas. I don't feel like we need our CDMs to be covering those wide areas. But I do have one of them on stay back while attacking cover centre, and I do have the other just on cover centre. I don't have stay back while attacking on. That is because generally this guy will be my more attacking centre CDM. You know, get a bit more involved in the attack, maybe be available for passes onto the edge of the box, things like that. So I just don't want them too far away from the attackers. Both of the centre back and the goalie are just on the basic instructions, the defaults, and both wing backs are on stay back while attacking with overlap. Stay back is because if you don't have them on stay back, they do just leave themselves and stand around in really weird areas, which just leave you open in the wider areas. And overlap is because if we are attacking in these areas and maybe, you know, our wide cams do tuck in and make those narrow runs, we do want the fullbacks as just a wide option for maybe a pass back, or maybe even overlap for a cutback pass. Loads of different options. Just give us as much attacking fluidity as possible. So yeah, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, drop it a like. And like I said, if you do want to enter the giveaway, drop a like, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.